those moments you've been dreaming about for years, like seeing your parents' faces when they finally step onto their very first business class flight? Well, that's exactly where today begins. For the next month, it's the three of us, me, Mum and Dad. A big Europe trip we've all been talking about forever. And what better way to kick off than with not one, but 2 long-haul flights in business class. That's a total of 22 and a half hours in the sky, with one very hectic transit in the middle. But more on that later. We'll be starting with Air New Zealand's brand new business class layout from Auckland to San Francisco. 12 hours in the air. Then it's straight onto United Polaris for another 10 and a half hours across to London. Flatbeds, champagne, multiple meals at 35,000 feet, and the real question, what will Mum and Dad really think of this lavish way of flying? Oh, and if you want to come along for the whole month of chaos and great views and maybe way too many coffee stops, maybe hit subscribe and like the video. My mum says it would be polite to do so. Thank you. We jumped in the car with so much anticipation. Thankfully, my brother Bram offered to drive us to the airport. You remember Bram? I took him across Canada for 5 days on Via Rail recently. And my husband Ludvig, he was working. But don't worry, you friends. I've got big plans for him later this year. We arrived at Auckland International Airport nice and early for our flight. A full 4 hours, in fact, before our 7:45 departure to San Francisco. Mum wanted to maximise every second in the lounge. She'd only been in there once before with me. And Dad, he'd never stepped foot in one.
I'm so excited.
For now, it was time to check in at the very special, secret, fancy check-in area. After that very quick and stress-free check-in, and our special express lane with the fastest security ever, we were honestly through in about 20 minutes flat. Check-in and security in under 20 minutes. What the heck? Next stop, the Air New Zealand Lounge. This place is massive. Now, I've shown it off a few times on the channel already, but if you haven't seen one of those videos before, let me give you a little tour. There's a full bar section with literally any cocktail you could want for free, an iPad where you can order barista-made coffee, or if that feels, like a bit too much effort, you could order straight from the Air New Zealand app. What? I know. There is oodles of seating, ample seating in fact, and I just love throwing in that word wherever I can because it makes me feel very fancy. There are showers, a whole sports lounge area where you can, watch sports on this big TV here, and a kids zone. And sweeping windows where you can just sit and watch planes do their thing. The lighting in here is so beautiful, and they've got even these funny swingy chairs. Loads of plants, artwork, photos and decor scattered around the place. And of course, the buffet. A huge spread of the best cheeses, little sandwiches, fruit, crackers, desserts, and even this lovely lemon honey drink. Felt a bit healthy, There's a hot buffet too with things like roasted potatoes, curry, soup and bread. And in the evenings, they seem to have a chef preparing little mini dishes for you, which is very cool. Oh, and all the wine, beer, champagne, sodas and juice you could possibly wish for. And this is also where we fell in love with poppadoms. Like, truly in love. I don't know why they hit so differently here, but they did. How has your experience been thus far, Tina?
This far, Chloe, it's been amazing. We've felt very, very important, very quick. Don't have to get into any lines, don't have to wait at all, and everybody is very nice, right through from taking our bags, showing us where to go, bringing us up to the lounge here, and it's been beautiful. It's been very special.
So Paul, what about you? How has your experience been thus far?
A lot more peaceful and relaxed.
Dad is like another Ludvig, I guess you could say. Yeah, expect a lot of silly dad jokes and awkward cameos, I guess.
Thank you, Chloe. My single shot, large decaf latte.
Ooh.
Good coffee, and I'm trying not to eat too much because I'm going on a business flight soon.
They're not quite used to this lavish luxury. Oh, Dad, I just heard Dad in the background. He says he's got a comment.
In contrast to that, I've already eaten and I want to sleep.
And he's going to miss out.
Well. I have failed to mention that we are delayed. Our flight has been delayed 1 hour and 45 minutes, which is no big deal. Extra time in the lounge, but safe to say we're ready to jump on there now. We're ready to start making our way. The only issue is I specifically booked this route from Auckland to London via San Francisco because I wanted to show my parents the amazing San Francisco United Polaris lounge. This was my first ever international lounge that I visited when I went on my first business class flight, and it was absolutely incredible. And I was very, very excited to show them, but unfortunately we've been delayed so much that I don't even think we're going to get enough time to visit this lounge. But that is okay. My parents are still going to get to experience this seat. After about 5 solid hours hanging out in the lounge, it was finally time to board. Mum and Dad were particularly excited about hopping on the plane first because this seemed like such a novelty to them. They're the kind of people who would normally just patiently wait for all of the important people to get called up. But today, they were important. And bam! After a super quick check-in, we were greeted with the biggest smiles and warmest welcomes you can imagine. It honestly felt like reconnecting with old friends. It's hard to explain, but there's just something so amazing about Air New Zealand crew. Right now, Dad is pretty darn blown away. He's looking pretty confused about this little nook in the sky.
Zoe, there's so much room. We better behave ourselves. People
I know.
think it's our first time.
Mum and Dad can't believe their eyes.
Hello, what would you like there? You can. I'd like the juice as well, what I mean.
Before you can even think, you're handed champagne, or orange juice if you prefer. We'll show you all around the space in just a second. But first, the menu. It's called Rarangi Kai, which is the Māori word for menu. Simple, but so special. And this menu was no joke. Pages of options, including a whole lineup of beautiful New Zealand wines. Whilst I was busy pondering on what to order, Mum and Dad were having their own little chats, looking slightly suspicious, like they couldn't quite believe this cabin was real. Dad especially was blown away by the whole pod situation. He kept saying he didn't realise that he'd have that much space to himself. Mum and I also had a little giggle at these very serious seatbelts. We felt very strapped in. Once the seatbelt sign switches off, you can unclip it. And then, before we'd even pushed back from the gate, our attendant came around to ask what drinks we would like right after takeoff. It honestly tasted like berry candy. It was a mix of gin, black currant, boysenberries, and a freeze-dried blackberry on top. Oh my gosh, yum. And they wasted no time in getting our dinner preferences sorted as well. So quick, so efficient. This is quite the surprise for me, I have to admit. This is Air New Zealand's new business class. It's the new business premier. Because if you saw my previous Air New Zealand business class video, you'll know I was in their older product, and it's not exactly the most popular layout. I found pretty awkward, especially filming, but I've seen so many reviews, just countless reviews on YouTube talking about how awkward this layout is. So this is a really beautiful surprise. I can't believe that we're sitting in like a capsule in the sky. This is insane. The crew are pretty lovely on here. They're very curious about this really cool camera that I have. The new Insta360 camera. This tiny camera has been my secret weapon on this trip. It's the new Insta360 Go Ultra. I'm partnering with them in this video to show you exactly how I've been using it in my travels. This thing weighs just 53 grams. Honestly, it's smaller than a tea bag and just kind of disappears into daily life. I can go hands-free, so I'm not juggling a camera and 3 suitcases all at the same time. The coolest part is it just sticks anywhere. Using the magnetic mount, sticky pad, whatever. I literally stuck it on the wall to get this super cool shot of me drinking coffee on the windowsill, looking out at the Cotswolds, coming up soon by the way. And I used it to stick on the front of our riverboat along the River Thames, another episode coming up soon. It just makes everything look so cinematic because I can put it there, I can do a time lapse, and I just don't need to kind of worry about it. I let it sit there for about 20 minutes one time and it just did a time lapse of us going through the river. So cinematic. I really do love that word, cinematic. And one of my favorite parts, it's got a built-in selfie screen, so you can actually see what you're filming without awkwardly guessing if you're in the frame. And then you can also flip this down. Now you can see me that way. Hello. And it's so easy to attach and detach. And despite it being so tiny, it shoots buttery smooth 4K at 60 frames per second. It even holds up in tricky lighting, whether that be the dark corners of an airport lounge, a night landing, or poking your head out the window in a cute English village after dark. It comes with lots of fun accessories. My favorite one is this little tripod. The legs just pop right out. This tripod was my bestie on the flight, and with replaceable storage via this little SD card right there, you can pop it in, pop it out, and a 200-minute battery life, I can film from check-in all the way to landing with no stress about missing a moment. I'm so excited for you guys to try it. If you're keen, scan this QR code right here by my head, or you can click the link in the description to check it out. I think you should try it yourself. This space is huge. There's so much more room and privacy compared to Air New Zealand's older business premier product. First of all, one of my favorite things about Air New Zealand is always the cabin lighting. It's so darn beautiful and relaxing. The kind of lighting that just makes you feel instantly calmer. To my left, there's a neat little shelf which conceals the tray table that flips out. Next to that, a whole cupboard. And it goes surprisingly deep. You can actually fit a lot in here. I had not one, but 2 windows. 2! And just ahead of me, a huge TV screen. Honestly, I think this might be the biggest TV I've had on a plane. It was stacked with tons of amazing movies and TV shows. To my right, there's a whole panel of seat controls. You've got the lay flat option, which we'll look at soon, recline, lumbar support, the tray table button, call button, and even an extra little light, which literally just lights up this tiny little spotlight here. It's so cute. We were also given a lovely amenity kit. Here's Mum showing us what's inside. Some stylish purple socks, a wooden toothbrush with toothpaste, and these lovely, beautiful hand creams and balms. Just love these things. Just above that, there is a power outlet, plus USB and USB-C ports, a hook for the wonderful noise-cancelling headphones, and even a mini cupboard complete with a mirror. And there's even a little privacy shield that you can pull across. I didn't use it actually because I wanted to keep an eye on Mum enjoying herself. Then came out the tables with a crisp white tablecloth, which Mum was very excited about. Honestly, she's excited about everything, just like me. So yes, this series is basically going to be 2 very excitable ladies, an awkward dad with lots of great jokes in between. Hope you enjoy. Starters arrived. I had this lovely artichoke situation with pumpkin puree and seeds and feta, along with a little amuse-bouche of capsicum and more pumpkin. Yum. Shortly after, our attendant came around offering a selection of beautiful fresh warm bread from the bakery. This is always my favourite bit. Mum's starter was the winter tasting plate with wild venison, blueberries, goat's cheese, panna cotta and beetroot. Then came the mains. Mum went for the beef eye fillet with potato gratin, gravy, truffle jus and horseradish sour cream. I think Dad had the fish, but I didn't want to film him too much and make him feel too awkward, you know. Meanwhile, I had this delicious creamy mushroom stew with broccoli and pickled radishes and the creamiest mashed potato you can imagine. And then dessert. I went for the cheesecake. Again, delectable. It has come to that time of the evening that it is bedtime. And this bed, my, this bed is just wonderful. It's like a mattress that's been put down on the seat. And it's so comfy. It's so incredibly comfy. The staff in Air New Zealand are just one of a kind. They go above and beyond. Like my mum, she just ordered an Earl Grey tea. But what they did is they came out with an English breakfast tea. Then the crew member realised that he gave her the wrong tea and he insisted like anything that he bring her the correct tea. even though she said, no, I'm fine with English breakfast. But sure enough, he came out a couple of minutes later with Earl Grey, and now she's sitting there with 2 cups of teas in her hands. Yeah.
After approximately 6 or 7 hours of solid, uninterrupted sleep, we woke up to the most beautiful ambient lighting. And the view out the window, just endless soft clouds. Gosh, this cabin is just so cozy. I love it. I peered over to my right and, no surprise, Mum was already on her second cup of tea.
Hey Dad, how did you sleep?
Like that, and sometimes like that.
That's my dad. Hey Mum, how did you sleep?
I slept fantastic. This camera's right in my face.
Yeah.
I don't know what I look like this morning. But this is just incredible. I can't believe this business class. Never done it before. I can't believe that you're on an aeroplane and you're in bed. Literally you're in bed. They make a bed up for you and you are lying flat, like you're in a bed. So warm, so comfortable. And yeah, I didn't know that it existed.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Thanks to Chloé. Thanks to Chloé. It really was fantastic. And the team working here, can't talk highly enough about them. They're just wonderful.
This has probably been my favourite business class flight ever, hands down. Yeah, favourite. And that might have something to do with the fact that Mum and Dad have been here with me on this whole flight. I even got a little glimpse at what they call business Premier Lux. I think I saw that you could upgrade to the business class Lux for about an extra $800 to $900 New Zealand. So it's quite a hefty upgrade, but they are like a lot bigger.
Then it was breakfast time. To start, a fresh little fruit platter and a bowl of cereal. I just love cereal. Following this came scrambled eggs with spinach, creamy mushrooms, and a veggie patty situation. Just heavenly. Mum went for the cheesy omelette with bacon, which also looked just heavenly. And Dad, well, I'm not entirely sure what he had, but he looked pretty happy over there. And by the way, this isn't just some old watery filter coffee. It's proper barista-style coffee. Strong, bold, delicious. Honestly, I did not want to hop off this plane. This was my happy place.
All right, Dad, are you ready to hop off this one and hop on the next?
Yeah, well, let's do some exercise in the 3 hours that we've got. Is it 3 hours?
No, not 3 hours anymore.
no.
Remember, we're delayed. We've only got an hour and 30 minutes.
Might have to do a power walk then.
I have to.
We'd like to ask you one more favour. We do have 10 passengers on board today who have a very tight connection. If you could please remain seated, let these 10 passengers through to give them the best chance to get their connecting flight. Would be much appreciated.
Oh, sad. I don't want to hop off. We've got a very tight connection now. They are going to let us off first so that we can make our connection. Fingers crossed, we're going to rush. So, yeah, wish us luck. There is a really long customs line. And, yeah, let's hope we make our plane.
This is where the relaxation kind of ends. By the way, I'm placing a whole bunch of B-roll over this right now because I was far too busy to film, okay guys? The staff here were not very helpful. They didn't really care that we were about to miss our flight. After almost an hour standing in line, our 90-minute transit window was shrinking fast. Hearts pounding, we finally made it through with about 40 minutes to go. We sprinted out of customs, grabbed our bags, and rechecked them in. After more waiting and even a machine malfunction, we finally escaped the security. The board said Gate 5. We sprinted there, hearts racing, only to find it completely empty. I burst into the United Club Lounge, blurted out a stream of half-panicked words, and eventually someone explained that the gate had changed. We needed to be at Gate 10. The kicker, the boards still hadn't updated. We arrived sweating, panting, desperate, and there was just one man behind the desk packing up. And he just looked at me and he said, "No, you're too late."
I thought he was joking. I thought he was being like quite funny and sarcastic, but he wasn't. He was not joking. So I was like, please, oh my God, I'm sweating. I have to run here. And long story short, we got on.
After puffing and finally coming to terms with what had just happened,
I have never been that stressed in my entire life. I am so darn sweaty, and this is when I would need that San Francisco lounge shower the most. Yet I'm sitting here in the sweatiest clothes. I'm puffed, I'm red. That was the most rushed experience I've ever had in the airport.
I was thinking this is a mental challenge, to be peaceful and calm and to realise that these things are out of your control.
Yeah.
Just stay cool.
Yeah.
Chill.
Dad's like Ludvig. Ludvig's really chill in these situations. Not me. Not me.
It's all part of travelling and it's all fun and we will be laughing about it for a long time.
I just took a moment to appreciate the fact that we'd actually made it, and I watched the coastal scenery outside. I always love looking at the flight map too, seeing how far we'd travelled and how far there still is to go. It's such a huge trip when you think about it. Shortly after, we were handed another pottle of nuts and a drink. I went for a Napa Valley Chardonnay, which may or may not have been foreshadowing a very cool train ride I've got planned for later this year. Next came the starter. I got prawns. They were fine, nothing special, but I needed some protein, so I ate them. Alongside that came a bakery selection. I went for the rye bread, which was nice, but it wasn't warm. And there was a salad with mozzarella, which was so ice cold, I literally couldn't eat it. It had actual icicles in it. For my main, I had the veggie stir fry with noodles and a green Thai curry sauce. It sounded really nice, but it honestly was very tasteless and plain. But I still ate it. Hunger always wins. Overall, I was super disappointed with the food. Very sad. Or perhaps we'd just been so spoiled on Air New Zealand, I don't know. Dad got the fish with couscous and Mum had the chicken with veggies and rice. They both said it was okay, but totally agreed it had nothing on Air New Zealand's food. Luckily, things looked up for dessert. United's signature sundae. Vanilla bean ice cream with all of the toppings that you could possibly want. Yeah, I really appreciated that. Let's take a look around the space, shall we? My first impressions, great TV size, not as big as Air New Zealand. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to compare everything to New Zealand, aren't I? Okay, I'm going to try and stop now. But I love how the TV displayed all of these little symbols of what we could expect during the flight today. Very handy, a little timetable. We had one big pillow and one smaller pillow. To my right, there was a little shelf with the amenity kit waiting, a holder for reading materials and magazines, etc., and a small crevice for stashing little items. And next to that, a cupboard complete with a mirror, and this is also where my headphones were stored. There was a remote, a power outlet, and a USB outlet. The foot area was large, with lots of space to stretch out. We were given 2 blankets, one simple blue one and one very fancy one from Saks Fifth Avenue. Saks Fifth Avenue on a plane. To my left with the seat controls, there was even a little coat hook. Now let's peek inside the amenity kit, shall we? We have an eye mask, socks with grippy things. Perfect. I can wear these to reform a Pilates class. And a Therabody kit that included eye serum, hydrating mist, lip balm, hand cream, and a dental kit. I love collecting amenity kits. So much fun.
I don't like to be picky because I run a business myself and I know that people complain a lot. But to me, having been on this flight for about an hour and experienced Air New Zealand versus United in the same sort of scenario, it's a difference between chalk and cheese. And Air New Zealand is superb in service. And the warmth, there's a difference in the warmth of the stewards. It's huge.
Yeah.
I told Mum and Dad how great the accountant too was, so they decided to watch it together, whilst I did a bit of work. After that, I played around with the seat controls for a while and then said goodnight to them. On Air New Zealand, the flight attendants come around and actually make our beds up for us. But here on United, you just lay the seat flat yourself. You're given a couple of blankets and you simply make it up like you would at home. The menu did say you could request an additional mattress topper if you wanted one, but honestly, it was comfy enough without it. I ended up going to sleep a bit later on this flight, with about 5 hours left. Then I woke up when there were just 2 hours to go. So I guess I managed a solid 3 hours of sleep. Then came breakfast. There were 2 options, egg white bites or banana bread. I went for the hot breakfast, which came with sausages, 2 little potato wedges, a fruit platter, a packaged croissant, and some vanilla yogurt. Arrival into London was pretty seamless. Prior to our trip, we had to complete an ETA to visit the UK, and that's a new thing now. But it was super straightforward to do the UK ETA via the app, and we were approved within just minutes of applying. We were able to go straight through the electronic gates and head down to collect our bags, or so we thought. And we have been waiting here for a while, and our bags have not shown up. So, it's not looking good, is it?
No, it's not.
Not looking good. Maybe our bags did not make it.
We ran, but the bags didn't.
Yeah. By this point, we were so ready for a shower. Luckily, I noticed in the United booklet menu thing that upon arrival into Heathrow, business class passengers actually do get access to the arrivals lounge in Heathrow. Total godsend. And honestly, it made up for completely missing out on the Polaris lounge in San Francisco. Almost. And the showers were huge and wonderful.
Oh my God. Guys. Our bags are not here. The good news is I'm not being stressed about it. And also, I get to have a shower. A glorious, glorious shower. I guess because we were so rushed to get onto our flight, we literally got in just in the nick of time. I guess our bags didn't quite make it. United Airlines assistant has located one of our bags, which got placed on the next flight after us, which is due here in about 4 hours. But he can't locate the other two. He's going to just assume that the other two are with the one he's located. But who knows? This was meant to be like such a relaxing, nice, easygoing trip with my parents, and it's off to a pretty chaotic start, I must admit. It's all about how you react to these situations. I've calmed down from our transit chaos, and now I'm just going with the flow. There's nothing I can do.
To our surprise, there wasn't just a big buffet spread, but also a full a la carte menu. We all ordered a really nice breakfast, and it felt like such a treat after that long trip. A really nice finish to a very up and down journey. Mostly up. Get it? Because planes? Yeah. We have officially made it to our Airbnb in London after all of that. Also, I just forgot to tell you, bum ba bum, great news. Luggage is being delivered this evening. They were, all three of them, placed on the later flight, and they located them. It's landed, they're here in London, and they're going to be within our reach this evening. So, we're going to finish with some feedback from my parents after their first experience in business class. Tina, let's start with you. How was your experience?
Well, where do I start? It was fantastic. Never ever done business class before. The staff were so incredible, so friendly, so attentive. Food was just absolutely beautiful, just such a nice experience. The staffing wasn't as good. The food wasn't as good either with United. But wow, what an experience. And I can say that going back to economy, I don't know about that.
Right.
It was just, we were very spoilt and we just loved it, and what a way to travel.
I look at it from a different perspective. I look at the cost. So I think most people would like to be in business class, and it's money, isn't it? It's all about money. Did I actually make a good investment by spending more to go on the luxury route? And I've reasoned it out that it could very well be a good investment to go with business class, because you stay awake when you get there instead of being half asleep for the next 3 or 4 days. And a lot of times when I travel, I want to be very switched on because I want to see new ideas and shops and innovations and gyms. If I go on cattle class, or sardine class as I now call it, I'm not going to be switched on, and I'm going to be struggling. I won't really enjoy it as much. So I think I could very well be doing this again.
You hear that, Ludvig? Even my parents agree now. It's just you now. By the way, this flight cost about $6,000 New Zealand each one way, from Auckland to Heathrow. And just so you know, this brand new business premier cabin isn't on every Air New Zealand plane yet. So if you're booking and you really want this exact seat, you'd want to specifically look for the 7879 Dreamliner V4 configuration. Air New Zealand has 14 of these 7879s in the fleet, and every single one is apparently set to be refurbished by the end of 2026, so that's really exciting. And that's it, Mum and Dad's very first business class experience. 2 flights, 1 very stressful sprint through San Francisco, a few missing bags, but honestly, totally worth it just to see how excited they were. This is only the beginning of our month-long Europe adventure, the 3 of us. Next up, we're doing a lot of cool things.
They're all extremely different from one another, a lot of different adventures. It's going to be very fun. I can't wait for you to see. Actually, these guys don't even really know the half of what they're getting up to. A lot of it is actually a surprise. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I'm so excited to show you. And if you want to come along for the whole ride, maybe, hit like and do all those things. And yeah, see you in London, I guess. Thanks. Bye.
When you go away with Chloé, you take your life in your hands and you never know what you're doing until you're doing it. And then when you're doing it, you still don't know what you're doing.
I really like keeping things a surprise.